It's me and my old girl Grace and my chicken shoes. We going for a walk, and I figured I would video it. You're a good girl. I'm gonna do a recall for fun. So when I step off with this foot, this tells her to stay. I'm not even looking back. There's no need to. Grace, come. Good dog. Good dog. Heel. Haha. Oh, you want your... We can do another one. There you go. Have it, girl. So Grace is my first service dog. She's now partially retired. And look, I forgot that dog was there. She don't care. Yeah, if you catch my feet movements, you'll notice I start with my left and she follows. I start with my right. She stays. Because who wants to be working a service dog in public and me going, stay, 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 heel, heel, heel. Nah. I like being discreet when I'm managing my disability, especially when I'm having an episode. Again, watch the feet. And she's parked. She ain't going anywhere till I tell her to. Now I'm gonna tap my side to tell her I want her to come back to it. Atta girl. Now for her reward. Good job. She loves her high fives. It's a nice 76 degrees out. She's wearing a Musher Secret lotion to protect her feet. She'll probably go down in history as one of my best dogs ever. But now that I'm learning to produce better ones, that may not be the case. However, her personality, Grace is just, that's my soul dog. Aren't you my soul dog? She's also my dancing partner. We dance. As much as this fat girl's gonna dance. Got some chickens over there. We've actually got chickens in our own backyard. She's such a good dog, and it's such a beautiful day. So Grace was born out of necessity. I think it's ironic that she came with the name Grace. It was on the paperwork. Her breeder put it on the CKC paperwork. And I had, at the time, given up. It was just my lack of resources and understanding of training was causing failure after failure. And most trainers can't produce a trained dog. But at the time, I was still operating under the belief that my beliefs defined reality. So if someone convinced me they were a good dog trainer, and I believed they were a good dog trainer, that made them a good dog trainer. No, I don't. But anyway, I had given up finding a dog, and my partner at the time found her on Craigslist being rehomed. She had a horrible case of littermate syndrome and had no house manners, nothing. They had deemed her untrainable. And at the time, Saint Bernard Poodles, were running about $3,000 to $5,000 a pup. And that's about what they paid for it. A little over $3,000 for her. And they rehomed her for $500. And I met her and I knew just everything inside me fired up when I met her. And it was like I could see inside this dog's soul and she could see in mine. It was really cool. And then we went through a bumpy learning process. And then, but we got there. I went from being dependent on a full-time caregiver I was in a toxic relationship with to her and I being on our own, because she was able to do the job better. Fully autonomous. I mean, the dog just knows what to do when to do it. She still needed training, but she had a very good knack. And then I had a car accident that left me with a brain injury. Thank God she wasn't in the car. And thank God everything lined up where she was taken care of. And then my grandmother, it was not direct, but eventually my grandmother was found and she agreed to be my full-time caregiver. And then knowing that if I stayed in my grandmother's house, who's the equivalent of a retired nurse practitioner and a pillar in her church community, I would end up like my mom and her brain injury, where it just never recovered. And so this dog and I were homeless on the streets of Shreveport, and this dog was what kept me from getting hit by cars, because my brain just wasn't working. I mean, when you can't process information and know which direction's safe and what isn't, you could end up wandering in front of a car. And that's where I was at for a while. And it was this dog right here, through busy streets and cities and all that, did that. That's what got us recruited here. My dog was guiding me better than guide dogs. And off leash. I'm gonna take advantage of the Halloween stuff over here and do a sit stay. Good dog. No need to watch her. That's what's nice about having a capable, qualified caregiver. Most service dogs don't act any better than toddlers, well-mannered toddlers. Make sure you don't touch that. Leave that. Leave it. Grace, come. Good dog. Good dog. Yep, you earned it. You earned that high five. I mean, she's managing herself around traffic, and this is light traffic compared to what we used to. If you go back and view my video on Airline Drive, that shit was crazy, but we did it. God, I love my dog. The nice part about having a canine caregiver is they only tell you no when they know it's dangerous. So I had the absolute freedom to test every boundary and to you know, I mean, and I wasn't testing it alone. I was essentially, in a lot of aspects, an adult learning how to walk through life. And that's where staying with my caregiver, my human caregiver, would have prevented that. But the dog, being my caregiver, allowed me to do it. did it so well. We bought a house in this neighborhood after a while, after, you know, fixing myself to a certain degree, fixing my credit to a certain degree, finally winning my Social Security disability. And bought us a decent little house. Then her and I, we put a dog training lab in the back, and we already had Liberty. The one we prepared to take over for her. This is just me and Grace's little private walk, you know, just her and me. My channel is called Biblical Dogs because in Genesis chapter 1 verse 26 it was God's first gift to man was dominion. Dominion over the fish of the sea, the fowl of the air, the cattle, over all the earth and every creeping thing upon the earth. Well, this is one thing that creepeth upon the earth. And he gave us dominion over all. And sadly, we've ditched dog training for a fantasy form of dog training. And then we ditched what helped people heal for what's now called healthcare. That's why my mom never healed from her TBI. Healthcare prevented it, still preventing it. That's why she is not in my life. I can't have her in my life and recover because her ideas destroyed her. The ideas she had grown up with and the ideas she had taught me destroyed her, have so far destroyed her, and they destroyed me for a long time. It wasn't until I stopped all the healthcare nonsense and detox from all the prescriptions they had me on and then in its place I implemented what I learned from neuroscientists, Dr. Caroline Leaf, and my seizures finally stopped. My management skills and learning skills will do that for a TBI. It'll reverse it, but they don't teach that. Instead they give you medications that dumb down the symptoms while the problem grows. And then when the symptoms become as the problem grows, the symptoms do, and then the medications can't manage it anymore and they gotta put you on new stuff. So it's a never-ending cycle of just one drug after another, which is ironic because I was told to say no to drugs as a kid and then say yes to drugs to doctors. So today I'm on zero medication. I use healthcare to track my progress in every way available to me, which has been significant. But then my life shows it too. It shows it in my work with dogs. It shows it with my speech pattern on this video. It used to be a whole lot slower and a lot less fluid, although it's still not fluid and it's still not fast. But at least now I can carry on a conversation, whereas before I couldn't. It's just it was just bad. But now I got myself a nice little house Nice little training lab in the back. Learning a way to contribute to society again. And even now I do train pets. I do train dogs that are only for companionship. When I get the opportunity, and that helps me fund the education costs and stuff, because the VA would only pay for what looks good on paper. They wouldn't pay for what worked in real life. But it's worth it. It's very much worth it. If I hadn't gone that route, I wouldn't have survived 2018. I wouldn't have survived 2019. It's amazing what God will do in your life once you learn to identify and obey Him. I don't like how dirty this area is. Maybe I need to come out one day and clean it up. It's by the school, and we just got rid of a drug house. And with it, we got rid of most of the dog problems. Most. And what I mean by dog problems is dogs coming up wanting to fight her. Uneducated dogs are more likely to want to kill an educated one. For the same reason with humans. You saw what just happened to Charlie Kirk. A uneducated fool killed a guy for knowing stuff. For what he knew and what he preached. It's not much different with dogs. Some dogs want to learn because they just want to be better companions, but they don't have the tools. And then you have dogs that just flat out resent efforts to train them and cohabitate in peace. We're almost home. Love my house. It's the only house on the street with a flagpole. For one person and 3 dogs, 2 cats, and a lot of chickens. It's a good place to live. My little CRV named Carla. I need to get that weeded out. All the stuff I interchange with in training. My chicken coop that I just got finished. That's more than it looks to others. I've got healing posts, agitation posts, and then I've got the jumps. And then I got chickens for prey, and then I've got a lot of defense options. Right now I'm limited on defense options. Let's see. Got a lot of stuff.
5 door.
Then Grace up, down, place. Grace has her place right by my desk. She's just legendary. Yeah, that a girl. You're such a good pup. And this is what I put on paws to protect them. Great stuff. Anyway, time to wrap up. Later.